Growing up, for the most part, I was raised by my grandparents. And I was always around older people. So I always had a certain level of respect, appreciation, admiration, and compassion when it came to older people. And one thing that I learned very early on is that the most valuable thing that you can have in life is wisdom. But you see, that's one thing that money cannot buy. Money cannot buy wisdom. You can't go out there and get wisdom at the grocery store. In order to gain wisdom, you have to live life. Wisdom is earned and gained through life as you get older. And that's something that you can't put a price on. That's something that you can't replace. And even older people, even though they lived in older times, and often you feel like they don't understand you. Often you feel like they don't understand the current thing and what you're going through. They do. They just understand it in a different way. So what I'm trying to say here is that I respect older people and the wisdom that they provide. But wisdom can work in many different ways, and sometimes wisdom doesn't work in a good way. For example, these politicians. As someone who respects older people, I'm getting kind of tired of looking at my government and it looking like a retirement home. I'm getting tired of seeing people who are clinging on to life, who are literally clinging on to the last threads of life. The only thing that keeps them going is corruption. I am tired of seeing these people who are literally on their deathbed making decisions for me, running this government, using their old age and wisdom not to better our country, but to line their pockets. You see these politicians, these 80 and almost 90-year-old politicians, they're very wise. But they're wise in ways that your grandma wasn't. They're wise in ways that your granddaddy wasn't. They're wise in ways that your uncle wasn't. They're wise in ways that the drunk man at the bar wasn't. They're wise in ways that many of us will never fully be able to comprehend. But that's what got them to the top. You don't get to the top by being a good and nice person. It rarely works that way. I hate to break it to you. And when you look at these old people within our government, they're all corrupt. They're all worth way more money than they should be. And frankly, I'm just getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of seeing the news that one of our leaders took a fall down the steps. I'm getting tired of hearing about how Nancy Pelosi said this and Nancy Pelosi said that. Nancy Pelosi should be in hospice care or something like that, and not here telling us what we should do, how we should think, and how we should run this country. And speaking of Nancy Pelosi, she's not doing too well lately. You see, she's one of these people that I'm talking about that have stuck around too long. And to be clear here, I'm not just against the Democrats who are getting older and, just wasting space. Think of people like Mitch McConnell. I'm talking about all these people. At a certain point, it's time for you to go. And if you can't carry yourself, if you can't handle it anymore, please just leave. But people, like I said, Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi, they're not going anywhere. They're going to sit here until their last death rattle freaking breath, and they're going to freaking squeeze and milk whatever corrupt dollars they can out of us. But recently, I don't know, Nancy Pelosi, she's going down. I want to show you this clip of what she looks like right now, and I want you to answer the question. Do you think we should have people like this still within our government making decisions? And if you know that Nancy Pelosi is pretty high up, and she's pulling a lot of strings behind the scenes. Getting Joe Biden out of the election, that was a lot of Nancy's doing. Don't let this old woman on this walker that's falling all over the place fool you. She is very powerful. And you have to ask yourself, why does this woman have this much power still at this late stage in her life? But let's roll this clip, and then I'll be right back with more. What people are going to have to understand is that, yeah, Nancy Pelosi may say some stupid things. You may think this is the dumbest woman on earth. But she's not as stupid as you think. This is a wise woman. Do you know how many millions and millions and millions and millions upon millions of dollars she made on the side through the stock market and through other means as she's been, in this position for way longer than she should have been? You got to understand that a lot of this whacked out stuff that these leftists have been promoting, it's a way to line their pockets. Oh, guys, we need to fund a $40 million trans freaking drag show in Libya. Let's go ahead and send $40 million over there that never really makes it there. It goes straight to Nancy. That's how a lot of this stuff is going. So a lot of the lunacy, a lot of the whacked out stupid stuff the left has been promoting, they've been promoting it because they've been making money off of it. They've been making money off of all of this completely ridiculous stuff. That's why when you look at this stuff and it sounds and it is ridiculous, it's because it is freaking ridiculous. It's like a money laundering scheme. That's what's been going on. A lot of this whacked out stuff that the left has been promoting, a lot of these politicians aren't promoting it because they believe in it. Most of these politicians know there's a difference between men and women. But they're going to act like they don't because, hey, if we act like we don't, we can fund this project and we can fund that project. And in reality, the money never makes it there. It makes it there, it makes it here, and I'm going to go buy another mansion. Now, somehow, some way, when I only make $75,000 a year at this job, somehow I'm worth $275 million. That's what's going on, when it comes to these corrupt politicians. And Nancy Pelosi is the queen of it. And like I said, it's time for Nancy to go. And it's time for a lot of these politicians to go. If you're falling all over the place, if you can't stand up, you got the liver spots, you got bruises all over you because you're falling down the steps every time you try to get to the speaker, it's time to go. It's time to pack it up. But you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And if you find yourself getting too worked up by all of this, remember, it's just political cinema.